welcome back to my channel. We are doing another build as per usual. We are doing an industrial loft build again. This was actually done before the kit came out, so it doesn't use the industrial loft kit. However, it does use a lot of packs. So as I usually say, if you guys want to try downloading this, even if you don't have all the packs that are in it, I highly suggest that you do, because usually you might be missing like a dining table or a couple of furniture pieces, but not, you know, an entire half of the build. So I always encourage that if you guys don't have all the kits, to still try downloading it. Or not all the kits, but all the packs. But anyway, so this was done before the loft kit came out, and then I finished it after it came out, but at that point I was like, might as well not use the kit in case, you know, other people want to try it out or try to like download this if they don't have the kit. So yeah, it feels kind of counterintuitive because I didn't limit any other packs, but I did limit myself to not using the kit after. So I don't know. But yeah, I do build the walls cut down, but eventually I close it all off and turn this into a factory. I absolutely love this floor plan. I think it's really, really cute, kind of how the top especially is, and I love these sort of like industrial pipe columns. I think those are from Get to Work. And then I use the kitchen kit for the kitchen. I actually also use Jungle Adventure counters because I love this kit, but I find it really repetitive the way the drawers are all the same. And I feel like that's realistic, but I don't like it. So what I end up doing is I take the counters from Jungle Adventure and kind of mismatch them around. It's not too noted. Like, I think they work well together, so I actually really like how it turns out and all that. So I thought that was a cool idea. It is a little bit mismatched, but to be honest, when you see this whole build, it's very like, I want to say like eclectic, but I don't think that's the right word. It's just like really full of personality and has a lot of quirky things in it, from more industrial pieces to more country style to very bright colors, from like I use paranormal stuff in it. It feels very it almost feels boho-y, but it's not boho. So I don't know why like I said, I don't know why I'm using these terms, but it's just very quirky and colorful and mismatched, but I think it goes really well together because everything is like mismatched, but I don't know, still works out somehow because it kind of has more traditional furniture in it, but at the same time it also is more modern and industrial. So it's very bizarre, but I think it all kind of works out together at the end. I really, really love this upstairs. So this is an office space, and then the office space leads into the bedroom. I made this really like cluttered, and I kind of envisioned like a struggling artist to live here, but this is $117,000 loft, so you definitely would not be a struggling artist if you live in this home in The Sims. You would be like successful, and to be fair, becoming successful in The Sims with paintings is kind of super easy. So yeah, I don't know, I just felt like this would be like a struggling, I always think like struggling artist or this or that when I think of like industrial lofts or Brooklyn, but obviously that's not always the case. And definitely for this build, even if I kind of envisioned that being it, the price point does not match that vision at all. So yeah, but I love this office. It's like super cluttered. I was really channeling the idea of Rufus Humphrey from Gossip Girls in this build, because I was like, okay, they have this desk and this office area, maybe they run an art gallery, but they also do art themselves. So then I add like this art easel and just like these paintings and all this different clutter stuff. But of course this does not look anything like the loft from Gossip Girl, so keep that in mind. It's just that's the only reference point I have for lofts like this is Gossip Girl, because I don't live in New York. And the only part of New York I've ever really been in is upstate New York, and that is nowhere near similar to New York City. And most of New York is not like New York City. It's just that everyone knows New York City. So that's the one place I haven't been to at all. I don't think I've ever been to New York City, to be honest, actually, which is a bit bizarre because I go to school in New York. But maybe I should go visit there someday. Obviously not now, but someday maybe. But yeah, so I really like this office space and how it turns out. And I kind of I liked the idea of this sort of like almost hallway looking front, like upstairs, because you walk from the office into the bedroom, which I also really, really love this bedroom. I made the bed myself. At first I was going to use Cottage Living, and I think the Cottage Living bed does look really, really nice in here, But then I was like, no, I want something more colorful. So I was like, what if I use this? And I'm like, I don't want to pick stuff that the industrial kit already has. And that city living bed is really similar to something that's in the industrial loft kit. So I wanted to go for something different. So I ended up using this Get Famous bed, and I sort of like custom make these like curtains around it. So it still looks like a really fancy bed, and it has these chains, which I think are from Snowy Escape. That is like a really good item, by the way. If you're like into making custom furniture, or even if you have a loft and you want to add lights to the first floor, because if you ever add lights to the first floor of the loft, they'll just be free floating, right? Because this is a 2-story loft, at least in this build, it's a 2-story loft. And so I was like trying to figure out what to do. I ended up adding beams, which is something I do a lot with using spandrels and stuff. But another option is using this chain from Snowy Escape, because you can size it up and down and sort of use it to make it seem like the lights are coming from the second floor, or like the actual ceiling, by connecting it to your like first floor lights, if that makes any sense. So that's what you can do with those. So they're really, really useful, and they're just also fun to like make cool stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. I'm not that creative with making furniture in The Sims. I just make houses in The Sims. I also made this inside little closet area, of course, using Dream Home Decorator, because that's just the best pack to make closets now. And then I add this really cool mirror, which I think is from the fitness pack. The really small fitness pack is what that one is from, and I think it looks really, really cool in there. I don't know how often you would actually use that in real life, because I imagine that little like area is very dark because it's a closet, but it does have like open windows and stuff. I also ended up deleting all of the walls in the first floor, so the windows aren't actually attached to a wall, they're just kind of like floating. It did cause a bit of a glitch, which I don't know why, because I've done that so many times before, and even in the most recent build I've done, the most recent loft build, it didn't do that. So I think it was just my game spazzing a little bit, but you don't really notice it. I don't think it'll transfer if you download this build. I think it's just my game was being weird. So yeah, I don't know what was up with that, but none of them have any walls, because usually I think lofts are kind of characterized by not having interior wall space, or like interior walls, except for like the bathroom. So that's why I did that. And I just kind of imagined maybe they've put up dividers or something. And a lot of times, New York, especially New York City apartments and lofts will have like windows into another room, because when it's really dark and stuff, you kind of put windows to go into the other room that has maybe a little bit more light and stuff. It's just a way of saving light and stuff. So that's why I ended up putting those windows through. And I think they look really, really nice. I absolutely love looking at like the overhead view, or just like, so you can see like both floors and you can see all the beams and spandrels, because it looks really intricate to me. I don't do things like this very often, so I'm like thoroughly impressed with myself right now. I also really like how this living room came out. I struggled so much with this living room. I just struggled with the first floor completely, which is why you see that I furnished the second floor before I furnished the first, because it was like so open before. I didn't have that platform originally, and then I decided to add the platform and make like a music area, or like an entertaining space with, you know, the electric piano, and there's a karaoke station and like the DJ music booth and stuff like that, which I think is actually from Get Famous, the one where you can actually mix and make your own music, not the ones that come from Get Together. So that was a really cool idea, but then I struggled with this space because the windows were on the one wall, so obviously the TV had to go on this wall. But I like custom made this little bench that kind of juts out from the platform, and I was like, I really like how this looks. So then I was like, okay, the couch is just gonna have to go on the opposite side, so I ended up adding this really pretty fireplace. I absolutely love this fireplace from Eco Lifestyle. It's the most industrial fireplace we have, I think, barring, well, no, I think it is probably the most industrial fireplace we have, and I really liked putting it in through the column. I just thought that was like cute. So all in all, I'm really impressed with this build. It did take me a while. I have about 3 hours of footage, and I know it took me a lot more than that, so maybe around 5 or 6 hours. For a loft, it feels like a bit much, but I really enjoyed just cluttering this build and making all this like quirky different styles and making it look kind of this is a really big build, especially considering it's only one bed and one bathroom. but I just liked making it seem smaller than it actually was, if that makes any sense. So I just had so much fun making this, and it costs a lot of money and doesn't go with my original idea, but it was fun. And I really liked using the bookshelves as a divider as well. They're really great for using as dividers. I just don't use them very often for some reason. I did kind of playtest this build to make sure you could get upstairs and downstairs. I did not playtest the actual furniture though. I'm fairly certain that you can get through most of the places anyways. The only thing I don't know is if that bar is actually functional, considering it's on the platform the way it is. But everything else should be okay. I don't like foresee any big issues. This is also a really massive bedroom, which I don't know why I made it so big. I also found this really cool like wooden cat tree, and I have no idea when we got that in the game, but it goes so well with this aesthetic with the wood colors and everything. It's like a more modernized cat tree. When did we get that? I have no idea when we got that. Also, the new painting that came with the base game update is so cool, and I love it so much. You know, I found it kind of odd because Deligracy, I think, she was talking about how she wished it came in more swatches. But if I remember, or if I'm understanding it correctly, this looks like made from real painters or something. Like they're taking real painters' paintings and putting them in the game. So I don't know why the Sims would even make different color swatches. But I really like the painting. I don't know why I just went on that rant. I just felt like saying something because I feel like, why would it have, like, do you guys think it should have other swatches, or do you think the way it's done is fine? I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make sense to have extra swatches from that painting. But it's a really cool painting. And I guess it makes sense to want more swatches because it is, like, very nice. But at the same time, I don't think that painting even needs different swatches because it's just such a out there painting that I'm not sure you would really need to do that much, like, color organizing with that kind of painting. I feel like that would be like a statement piece, not like a it ties everything in type of piece. But I don't know. I also add 2 balconies on the outside. There's, well, a balcony and a what's the difference? Balcony and a porch. So does that make sense? I don't know if I'm using the right terms, but there's one on the first floor and on the second floor, and I add some stairs, so it kind of looks like a fire escape, which I thought was pretty realistic, which is why I did it. It does, like, kind of not make sense because then when you're looking outside, you're kind of looking at the stairs. The stairs are, like, in the way of looking outside. But on the other hand, I was like, perfect. It's more more cramped, and it feels more realistic to me, even if it's not. I also enjoyed adding plants literally everywhere. I just imagine, when I imagine like industrial lofts, I just imagine plant lover, like big plants everywhere. So this sim has a lot of tastes, okay? It loves plants, it loves music, and it loves art. So we got a variety of different ways to go with this build if you decide to download it for your own Sims. I really wish that we had more hanging plants in the game. I know they gave us one with Paranormal, but I really hope they consider making another one at some point. I really wish the industrial loft kit would have come with them, actually, because I think you could have made some really cool industrial hanging planters. But I guess they didn't think of that, which is a little bit sad because it only came with 2 plants. And to be honest, this one plant's gotten a lot of hate. The pampas grass. I don't know if I'm saying that right, so if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I'm gonna Google it after. But the grass that's both in Dream Home Decorator and in this pack, and the Dream Home Decorator one is like super detailed. It looks like Alpha CC. And to be honest, I actually don't like that grass as much because I feel like it doesn't fit as well with the game. But 2, I just don't like the texture overall, even though it's a really nice texture, but for some reason I don't like it. So for me, when the new kit came out and it had this grass and it was more like 2D and like not as good, I actually liked it better. So I kind of wish they add more plants because I like that grass a lot better than the one from Dream Home Decorator. And I feel bad because I think it's gotten a lot of complaints, but on the other hand, I'm just like, yo, I like that one so much. But I really wish they would have come with better planters. I don't know, we have a lot of plants in the game, but for some reason I just feel like we're lacking. But I think it's because a lot of the plants are kind of like unusable in the sense that they're very like, they have a lot of personality is what I would say. They're not like super generic, and the ones that are generic are usually from base game, and they're just not as good as the new plants that we get. Like, they're nowhere near up to the standards of our plants now in The Sims 4. So I just feel like we're always lacking plants in this game, even if we're not. But oh well. I did go ahead and do the landscaping. This is on a 40 by 30 lot, but this house could obviously fit on a smaller lot than that. Probably a 30 by 30, maybe even a 20 by 30, or even a 20 by 20. I'm not entirely certain. It might be just over bounds. It could definitely fit on a 30 by 30 or something, but I don't know about a 20. It might. It seems like it definitely could. This is a pretty small build. I don't know why I built on this lot. I think it's just for the lighting, because I actually don't mind the lighting on this slot. This is a new crest. I thought about transferring it over to San Myshuno again, because San Myshuno just has like the best view for a loft like this. I could even imagine it in the eco lifestyle world, but I think this one was too planty and I was too lazy to go ahead and like cheat the action plans and everything through so that we would get like the pretty lot. So yeah, I definitely do not think this is a very plant or like eco-friendly area, even though it's kind of nice and it has nice plants, and obviously the person that lives in it loves plants. The exterior is made of brick, and there's, I think, 3 fireplaces in The Sims. Also, I really wish that we had like fake fireplaces in The Sims. We have like the aesthetic of them, but then they still have the industrial footprint, and I just feel like surely The Sims could have mustered some ability to make a fireplace that had an eco-friendly or at least neutral footprint, because there's a lot of like electric fireplaces, or even just making one that you could like turn off and not use would be really great, but they didn't do that, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, we are done with the build, so I hope you guys liked this video. As always, if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you like me, hit the subscribe button, and if you really like me notified every single time I post a video, go ahead and hit that bell button. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you next time.